Good afternoon and welcome to the channel, everybody. Hopefully, I am live and well. Let's just see. How come it hasn't started on YouTube? What's going on? Let's just see if we are. There we are. We are live on YouTube. There's a little bit of a delay. So, hello, everybody. I see that Mr. Logan and Cliff D are here so far. 5 people on. I know Steve is still streaming, doing his MMU build. 3D Medic Vince, hello, how are you? Yeah, Steve is still building, so he's got a lot of people over there. They tend to hop on over here sometimes after that. And so we'll give it a minute and see. Guy the Jedi, hello, good evening. Hello. How is everybody doing? Jeff Thorson is here. They're popping in like flies now. You guys are all getting the notification that I'm live. It's hot down in my basement today. Mind you, we were in a little mini heat wave for the beginning of September. It's actually 30 degrees Celsius here today, which is pretty hot for us for September, but I'm not complaining other than a little bit warm down here. So yes. So we have Barbie here. We're just trying to find out the IP address on her because I think she might have changed. And I think she is 60. Yeah, I believe she's 60. Let me go ahead and hook it up. Hey, Bryce. How you doing, Bryce 3D? Let's go ahead and see if I can find Barbie here. This is the Trident. This isn't Barbie, but I think Barbie is going to be at 60. It's 10.0.0.60. And yes, there she is. Oh, or is that still the Trident? That is still the Trident. So my Trident's at 60. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. So then Barbie must be the 89. 89. And come on, Barbie. There we are. That's Barbie, because Barbie's missing a lot of configuration stuff right now. So I know for sure that this is her. And of course, it says Barbie up top. So there we go. 10 of you on so far. We will just wait a few more minutes and then we're going to discuss what we did last week. For those of you that joined the stream last week, you'll know that Mr. Steve from Steve Builds was on and he gave me some really good pointers and tips, and a couple other people helped along too. We've actually got sensorless homing working on this. We just got to get our probe hooked up, and then we're going to be able to home Z. I can't home Z right now because there's no probe hooked up, and as far as the firmware thinks that there's no connection there, blah, blah, so it's not doing anything for me on homing Z, but I can home X and Y, which I'll show you in a minute here. But I got the, I kind of a little bit prepped today. I got the stuff ready to put the plug on the wire. I just have to figure out which plug goes where in the configuration. So if we have a look at the octopus, we are putting the probes, bear with me 1 second. So the probe, which is the nozzle probe we're using a thing called a poke probe. And if we look on the instructions on the Trident itself, the yellow is our probe wire. And it is going in, I guess it doesn't matter. We're going to have it identified properly in the config file anyways, but we're going on the second. We have a bank of 8 plugs here. It's going to go in the inside second one from the end of the board, which in this case is inside second from the board is right here. So that is going in. Let me move this over a bit more so you can see it. So that's going to go in J31. Now J31, we have 3 volt ground and a PG10. So I just have to figure out which plugs. That's the only thing I'm not sure is because it's only a 2 plugs on the probe. Hey, Petty Rexman, how are you? Bryce 3D is here. Oh, I already said hi to Bryce, didn't I? You got 2 shout outs. But J31, I just don't know where the wires are supposed to go because we have obviously our 3 volt pin, our ground, and our PG10. I have a feeling because it is it's basically sensing whether the probe is connected or not. My guess is going to be because PG I would think would be the programming pin or something, but I have a feeling that I'm just going to be needing to be on the ground and the 3 volt pin for the probe itself. And I think that's all I'm going to need to do so that the firmware knows. So when I plug it in, it's going to be connected, which means it's open, or it's going to be in a closed state when it's connected. When the nozzle hits the bed, it opens. And I'm pretty sure I'm just going to need a 3-volt in the ground for that. And it doesn't matter which goes on which side. So we're gonna try that. Worst case scenario is it doesn't work, but we do know that it goes in J31, so we're gonna wire that up to do that. And I don't think it's going to be a problem if I miswire it, because I don't think that's anything that's going to be a threat to the main board or anything like that. So it's a little bit of trial and error, but what the heck, this whole build has been a bit of trial and error for me. So okay, we have 12 people here now, which is great. We'll probably have a few more later. I know Steve is still going. He's just doing a test print. He finished building and hooking up his MMU for his Prusa. So we'll go ahead and proceed with what we've got to do tonight. So I've got this cool little tool I'm going to try later. This is it's called a belter from Big Tree Tech. If I pop into this camera right here, doop. Oh, wrong camera, but I can cut and show you. And it's called a belter, and basically it's a precision belt tension tool. All it is, you've probably seen these. All it is basically it's part end of like a caliper, and then they basically have a belt where you can run your belt around, and then the caliper pushes on the belt, and it tells you the belt tension by reporting a number on the caliper. So really, all it's doing is allowing you to tension both belts the same, but it's not necessarily giving you the accurate tension that you need, the proper tension that you need, but it will let you tension both your belts the same. And if you find out what number is going to be the proper tension, then this will help to, even those belts out. So there we go. Okay, with that said, 13 of you, good, lucky 13, we'll start. Remember, stick around the end, towards the end of this stream for a chance to win a spool of Polymaker filament as usual. That'll be happening around 6:30 p.m. Or about an hour and a half from now, whatever time zone you guys happen to be in. So I am going to go ahead and actually we'll show you the sensorless homing that we've got hooked up so far on Barbie. So if I go ahead and open her up, where are you, Barbie? There you are. And I can home all because it's not going to hurt anything. It's just that Z is not going to home properly. So I'll bring this camera up over this way, and I will kind of aim it up a little higher, like so. So you kind of have that view. Actually, I need to get this one on a little tripod that I can put on the desk. So it sits right about here, and maybe I will end up doing that. But for now, so I'm just going to hit home all. And so Z lowers, there's X, there's Y, and it's perfect. Now of course, Z I can't do anything with because Z didn't home because it thinks that the nozzle is hitting the bed already, basically because we haven't hooked the probe up, so it's thinking it's closed. So, but I am able to now go ahead and move X and Y as necessary. Here we go. And again, if I home them, and this is sensorless homing, and it was actually kind of hit the right button. It was actually kind of tricky to set up, but once I got the hang of it, it was pretty easy. So there we go. And again, I'm just going to move these things over and out of the way a little bit here, and we're going to move Y up towards the middle there. There we go. So sensorless homing is working great on that. And so I'll show you in the printer config file where that was set and what I had to do to set it. That was, let me find the spot here. It was right in here. So this is the one right here that we adjust the strength of that on right there. So basically 255 is the most sensitive value, 0 is the least sensitive. So we start on 255. Of course, on 255, if you breathe on it, it says, okay, boom, we've hit the end. So we played with it and played with it and played with it until we rounded it up to 90 as the number that we had to go. And that is on That is on X, and then on Y, the same thing. We ended up with, X is up here, 90 on X up here, and down here we have Y, which is 90 on Y. And we got the proper pin, yada, yada, yada. But everything seems to be working quite well for those. We just have to now go ahead and get that nozzle probe, the poke probe, hooked up to the board so that we can actually home Z now. So, oh, 2 people dropped off. Oh, 2 people dropped on. My count keeps going from 11 to 13 and so forth. So that's okay. So let's power down Barbie. Now that we've seen that. Okay, and I'm going to shut down. And we're going to power her off. Lay her down in her belly, and we're going to hook up that probe wire. Okay. So I've got the 2 probe wires here. Again, for the probe wires, we're not worried about polarity because basically it's just an open and close. We're not actually, there's not actually anything on the end that's being powered. But I do believe I have to hook it up to the proper, to the plus and the minus ends on this plug. So we'll see. Trial and error, right? So, and it's a 3-pin plug only, even though we're only using 2. Let's go ahead and hook this one up. Okie doke. Sounds like the fam jam's home. Okay. Oh man, it's either me or I've got mosquitoes in here today, but I don't think I do. I just have these itchies going on. Okay. Hopefully everybody has had a great week so far. Okay, let's twist these wire ends here. Okay. Grab our little crimping tool. If I'm not mistaken, this one went on the second one up here for the size of the pin we're doing. There we go. Did that work? That worked just peachy. Man, these things are tiny, tiny, tiny. When you have big hands, oh my goodness. There we go. Oh, that one's over. Oh, this one I stripped a little too much wire off of. Let's trim a tiny bit off that. There we go. And that's a good crimp there. Okay, so we got those 2 in. We'll grab our plug right here, which is 3 of them. It's a 3-pronger. Put these guys back over here. Now I just got to have a quick peek at that diagram again to see. I'll leave these out in case I have to redo that. Could be possibly I get these wired wrong, so we'll see. Okay, so according to this, we want J31 and J31. We're gonna do the 3-volt in the ground. Unless I see, and that's what I'm not sure. We're just going to take a chance that it's going to be the 3-volt in the ground. Although that'll kind of send voltage up to the poke probe, which I guess we do because the board needs to know when that flow is disconnected or broken or connected. So it's like a loop, I suppose, it's going around. Unless we just need the 3-volt and the PG9. That I don't know. End stop is ground and signal. Ground and signal. Oh, okay. So the PG. So we're going to go ground and PG10. I'm glad you're on here, Thunder Keys. Thank you. Petty Ruxpin says, hasn't been too bad. You went to lunch with your older daughter, ate, and then took her to the ice cream. Oh, nice. Well, your wife and younger daughter were at the Barbie-themed birthday party earlier today. Look at that, a Barbie-themed day. Hello, Timor 714. PG10 and ground. Okay, good. See, I'm glad you guys were here to tell me that. I would have done something really funky if I hooked up the 3 volts. So J31, and so we want the 2 round ones, which are the ones that are closer. So we don't want the one. Okay, so that means, let's want to get my orientation right. So the 3 volt is actually towards the inside of the board, and the 2 that I want are facing the outside of the board. And this plugs in this way, so I want the 2 end pins on here this way, and I want the outside pins. Okay, and it doesn't matter polarity-wise. So we have that one going in there. This one going in here. Okay, so this should then allow me to plug into J31 right there. Okay, that should be where we need to be. Okay, so let's step this up. And we'll do a little test, of course, before we actually run the nozzle into the magnet, which is on there. Actually, let's put the bed on here. Let's put this massive bed on to make sure that I don't kill the magnet. Okay, we got the bed on. So we are on, let's see, J31, which is diag 2. Okay, so we'll pop this on. We're going to go into the, we'll go into the config file and make sure that we have our probe set and that we have it set for the right position. So we are looking at diag 2, J31. I'm not sure which one of those they use as reference, but I think they use the diag 2. You just set up PEC on your T0. Interested to see how poke works. Okay. Well, we'll see. This will be the first time, but we'll be testing it with the finger to see if it's active. We're going to be fingering Barb. I'm sorry. We're going to test it with a finger to see if it's accurate, to see if it actually triggers on and off in Clipper. I have to be careful the way I say that. That could be so misinterpreted. Okay, let's see if we're... Okay, we are launched. So I don't think anything's configured in the printer config, but let's have a look and see. Let's go down to machine, and down in the bottom of machine, we have our end stops here. Let me move my mug out of the way here, up over here, so you can actually see. So there's our end stops. Okay, so probe is triggered, which is, I guess, what we're wanting. X, Y, and Z are open. So if I go ahead and push on the nozzle a little bit and then refresh, that's still showing the probe is triggered. Oops, and stop Z is triggered. How did I do that? Oh, I think because I moved the Z end stop. Oh, there, it's open again now. Actually, Z, it's very sensitive if I touch it. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what we're looking at in the printer config file for the probe. Let's go find our probe section and see what we got set up. Probe. Pin PG15. Okay. Where is our actual probe located? Okay. For the probe port, will not work with diode. Okay, that's fine. For the diag 7 port, needs to BAT 85 diode, change to PG15 if probe is... Okay, so I'm not 100% sure where I'm setting the probe for this one. Whoops. What I'm setting the probe on for this. So I've got to think about this for a moment. Right now the probe is set at pin number PG15. And where is PG15 on here? Why can't they just call it J31? PG15. Oh, there we are. PG10 is what I want. PG10. Okay. So I want PG10. That just means the probe was actually set for PG15 prior to this, which was this one right here. Okay, that makes sense. PG15 is the probe port, just pin PG10. Yeah, I saw your, just after I did that, saw your comment. Okay, cool. So let's save and restart that. Now that we've changed the probe port. Error, of course. PG10 used multiple times. Okay. Well, we can always move it over to PG15. Why would PG10 be used multiple times? Let's do a search, see what else is using PG10. Just out of curiosity. End stop pin PG10 for Z. Oh. Interesting, but we don't have an end stop pin for Z. Although, do we need a lower end stop pin for Z? That's the one thing I didn't think of. Yeah, okay, let's go to 15 and we'll just move it. And then I'll worry about that Z in a minute here. Okay, so 15 is J14. I'm sorry. 15 is J34, I believe. Yeah, 15 is J34, which is the farthest one out. Hey, Jerry. I'm going to need Z to be virtual end stop. Yeah, it's going to have to be the same as I did for X and Y, isn't it? Okay, well, let's swap. I think I can hot swap the probe. At least I'm going to try. Because there's no electricity going through there other than a... Let's go ahead. Did I actually save my printer config after I did that? Oh, yeah, I must have. Okay. And let's go ahead and check and see now if it recognizes the probe. Come on. Okay, machine, end stops. Okay, probe is open now. So now, okay, cool. So probe is open. End stop pin P, probe Z, virtual end stop for Z. Okay, thank you, Thunder Keys. I will do that. Let's go ahead and trigger the nozzle with my finger, and doesn't seem to be, no. Oh, there it is, triggered, open, triggered, open. How much pressure do I have to put on that nozzle though? Oh, a little bit too much pressure. I may have to adjust that, but we'll see. Pressure that my finger is putting on it may not feel. Yeah, that may be a bit, I may have to adjust the sensitivity of that, but at least it's recognizing we have a probe there now. Okay, so let's go ahead and do what Thunder Keys tells me, because he knows what he's doing. Z probe, so that was PG10. We'll find that one. That was right here. So we're going to put end stop pin PG10. So the end stop pin for that is going to be virtual. Probe Z, virtual end stop. Not probe 1, probe Z. Oh. Virtual end stop. That looks about right. Colon. Is that a colon? Colon. Where's my Y? Let's see. Okay. So we got probe C, virtual end stop, save and restart. Of course, we get an error because it's not going to position end stop is not valid in stepper Z. So stepper Z end stop pin position end stop minus 0.05 is what we've got there. So actually, I think the position end stop on Z should be 0. Not a valid location because it is virtual. Because the minus 0.05 is actually telling you that it's going below the 0 point. Is 0 going to be right for a position end stop? Let's see. Just comment it out. Oh, okay. Oh, because we don't really have an end stop position. Ah. Okay. Let's see what else they're going to come up and throw at me here. Oh, no more errors. Okay. But do I need to, if it is a virtual end stop on Z, let's just have a quick peek here. So if my Z end stop pin is virtual end stop on Z, do I need, but it's not a sensorless Z, is it? Or do I need to add the driver strengths same as I did before? No, because these ones have, okay. Well, we're going to find out. Okay, nope. Nope, you say nope. Okay, we'll just leave it. Okay, so we have our dashboard. And we're going to get back in here. And we are still on. So let's go ahead and see what happens if we try to home this. Let's go ahead and home it and see what happens with my finger on the power button, of course. Boom, boom. Sensorless is not the same as virtual probe. Okay. Let's see what happens here. There's X. There's Y. Okay, we got nothing for Z. Move out of range. -10, -10, 10. Okay, so that's okay. We get a little error here. We'll deal with this error. So obviously it's looking for it's an error when it went to do Z. -10, -10, 10 out of range. Okay, let's go ahead. This is the part where you guys need patience with me because when it comes to figuring all these things out, yeah. Okay. Save Z home, I may need. Okay. Oh, I want to go to the middle. Yeah, Safe Z will put me in the middle of the bed, won't it? Do I have Safe Z home set? I thought I did on here. Let's just look up Safe. Safe Z home section. Oh, there we go. That's why. Because we have an XY position of -10 for safe Z homing. So that's why it's throwing me that error. Hey, Jose. Okay, so safe Z homing position. I basically want to home in the middle of the bed. And we are I never remember the size of this bed on this thing. Let's see, it is a 120 millimeter bed. So safe Z homing is going to be 60 millimeters, the middle of the bed. So X60, Y60. So 60, 60, speed 100, Z tilt. Okay, to adjust level bed, Z positions in the tool head. Okay, we're not going to worry about that right now. Okay. Yeah, 60, 60, that's where I'm at here. Okay, so let's go ahead and save and restart that. And we'll try the homing again. There we go. There's a good view up Barbie's Yahoo. Okay, let's try this again. No, okay, so something happened here. Let's stop this. Okay, well, Z was going to home, but X and Y went poof, way up to the top. So that shouldn't have happened. We'll have to check and see why that happened. Update Z tilt in future. Oh, absolutely. In order to get that bed leveled. Why did X and Y go all the way to the front left for safe Z homing? Let's go figure that out, but let's restart this. Mm-hmm. Rotation distance? Oh, maybe. Although X and Y are homing homing properly. I had to switch those around. What are those errors? Nothing to do with these. No, virtual SD card, pause, resume, display status. Okay, that's fine. Fair enough. Let's find that again. Safe. Next. Okay, save Z homing. So we define the middle of the bed 60, 60. Do I need a space there? No, I don't think I do. Oh, I wonder if it's here. No, this is the Z tilt. I've got to adjust this after. Let's config for stepper X. Where are we up here? Z stepper, XY stepper settings. Stepper X is right here. Oh, sorry. There we are. So there's stepper X right here. Retract distance 5, homing position direction true. And I have my Hey, MakerMind Nexus. How are you doing, Dan? Okay. Okay, I got my position end stop 120, 120. We changed that because we're actually on a 120 build. Direction pin, rotation distance 40. So there's my stepper X setting right here. You have 200. You have as 200 for LDO V0 motors for your rotations. Where's my rotations? Oh, because you know why? This is a trident. Um, I started with the trident configuration. So the rotation distance you have as 200 on the zeros, on the V0 motors. Hey, Brent Ferguson, did you miss anything? Not really, no. We're just setting up the homing right now. We actually successfully got the sensorless homing going. So I'm just looking up a bit, and Thunder Key says full steps per rotation. Full steps per rotation. Mine is set at 400. You have yours 200 for LDO motors. Okay, so let's change this to 200. Yeah, because this was a configuration from a full-size Tri-Zero. So we'll set that to 200, and that's going to be the same under Y, isn't it? Yeah. So 200. Okay, let's try that and see if that did it. Now, is the Z going to be the same? Let's see. Full steps per. My Z is set at 200. Okay, which is good. Let's try that. See what we get. And we are on again. There we go. Okay, let's go a different view here. See what happens now when we go to home it. Okay, so nothing happened. We have end stop X is still triggered after retract. I wonder, because we changed the rotation distance, if I have to lower that sensitivity. Yep, I bet that's exactly what it is. Because the motors aren't moving as quick or something. This is how I had to configure the sensorless homing, was by going through this exercise. So let's go back to X. And let's change that 90 here. Let's go down to 50. And I'm just going to do X for now. And just see if that makes a difference. Okay, so now we're just going to do G28X. And there we go. Okay, that seemed to work. The 50 seemed to work. Okay, let's bring Z up. Oh, Z is locked there. Okay, so we'll go back in. So basically what I did there, sorry, I thought I had switched screens, is because we changed the full steps per rotation of the motor, that forced me to have to change the sensitivity of the driver strength for the sensorless homing from 90 down to 50. So we'll do the same with Y, because that seemed to be consistent with X. So we'll go to 50 on the Y, and then we'll save, and then we'll see what happens here. Okay. But when it comes to doing Z, I'm going to tell you. Okay, well, for now, we'll just go G28Y. Okay, and we'll put the camera. Actually, let's move the camera up a little bit of an angle so you guys can see it here. And then we'll home Y and see if Y home's okay. That's a little hard maybe, but it did work. And then I can move X. Oh, let's bring Y back out. Okay. And then I want to do a G28X. G28XY. Make sure they're both going to home fine. X. Do I need a comma? I think I do. No, I think I just need a space. X space Y. Let's home X and Y. Here we go. There's X and there's Y. Yeah, Y homed a little hard. Didn't throw an error, but it seemed to crash a little hard. So what I'll do, oh, sorry, this camera has a little short in it, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into the configuration, and I'm going to go down to Y, because I said so, and I'm going to move that from 50 to 60. So the higher the number, the more sensitive it's going to be. Let's move that up to 60 and try that again. Okay, I'm going to bring Z up manually a bit here. And let's bring X and Y to the middle. There we go. Okay. So let's go back here, and we're going to go G28XY. And let's see what happens. Okay, there goes X. That's good. And what's Y going to do? That is better. So notice it didn't clunk nearly as hard on Y. So that's better. That's much better. Okay, so that worked good for X and Y. Now let's see what happens if I home all. There we go. Now this is where I need finger on the power button because this is where we're testing the probe. Okay, something happened there. Oh. Okay, that's interesting. You all heard that, right? Wasn't my imagination. Okay, this might be a problem. This might be a design problem. So what's happening? I'm going to get this camera in the side view. So what's happening if I manually raise this bed? It is maxing out here before it comes. It's actually still 3 millimeters away from the nozzle. That's not good. That's not good. So let me power this back on. Well, I already did power it back on. It is maxing out up here before it actually hits the nozzle. Space bed screws. Ah. You needed taller spacers. Okay. So what I need to do is in here, put the bed screws up, raise the bed higher by about at least maybe 5 millimeters. So we're not, okay. Hey, well, at least we have Z homing. I wanted to know if the nozzle pressure was going to work, but now we have to go ahead and do some bed spacers. Okay, well, it is what it is, right? So let me power it off. Boom, boom, boom. That's okay. Shut down. There we go. We'll do a proper shutdown. Okay, and let's go ahead and remove the bed and see if we have some spacers we can fit in here. I'm going to lower this manually. There we go. Now I find out I need bed spacers, right? Would have been nice to know this earlier. Maybe just 10, not at home to check. Oh, I see. Yeah, I'd rather have it too high than too low. Or sorry, yeah, I'd rather have. I don't want it to go right to its actual limit. I'd rather have a little bit of a wiggle room there. It's not like I'm going to be printing full-length tall models on this thing. So, okay, and the third one. Let's move you up. Let's go ahead. We'll just take the bed off. We got some wiring on the bed we got to be cognizant of. So let's see where I can put spacers in here. Okay. Okay, actually, I'm gonna put this camera on. It's a little easier to sort of see. Whoops. That's a little too low. That's what I tried. That's what I get for trying to do things with one hand. There we go. So there's our bed off. And this is what I was using for spacers. Were these little brass guys. So now let's see what I have that I could put under these possibly. So I was using this like so. I may have some spacers that I can fit under there. Let me see what I got in my spacer box. Just move over here for a second. One of these has a bunch of spacers. This one. So let's see. These look like they're going to be 5mm. See what I've got here. Oh yeah, those will work. Although I don't need 5. It's M3 or M4s. M3s should work. 3mm. These ones here, 5x5. Is that the tallest ones I've got? Is 5mm. Don't I have any 3x? There's 5x8s. That might work. 8mm if I raise it up. Those are the tallest spacers I've got. And I'd like to get away with one spacer if possible. So here's what we'll do. So we'll come down. I'll just show you what I'm working with here. So we have these 5mm by 8mm spacers. It's all going to be snug. I'm going to need longer screws too, obviously. You had to use a couple 3mm nuts to get more spring tension out of your bed springs. Aha. So these should work. These are 8mm tall. And I can put them under here. They're a little bit wiggly, but that's okay as long as the screw. So I'm going to definitely need longer screws. But yeah, that should work. That should work. I was thinking I could put the spacers over this, but I can't. So I think these 3 spacers will work. Let's just close this up. We're going to need longer bolts. Where's my M3s? Sorry for the noise from the microphone in there, but you know, what are these ones here? Currently we're using, here, go over here. Where's my doomer thingy? These ones are 20s. So if we're going to add 5mm of space, we're going to need some. Do I have 25s? I doubt it. I do have 25s. So these are 20s. So we're going to use M3 25s to, since we're adding 5mm, 3. After adding 2 nuts under the bed, lock nuts, you haven't had a bed level of bed again. Cool. Okay. So here's our 25s, which logically, they don't look like 25s. I guess that's 5mm. Oh, they're 8s. These are 8mm spacers. What am I saying? I can probably get away with 30 M330s. Oh, man. I had 25 on the brain for some reason. Let's see what I got. '30s. Why am I getting thumping on the floor above me? Okay, M330s. Let's try 30s. They're only 2mm extra length, but I think we can absorb that in the screws here. Let's just see what happens. Okay. So let's come up to the bed here. Okay, you guys want to share the misery with me? Here we go. I'm going to do the back one first because it's the one that's got the embedded or the nut slid into the extrusion. Oh, that seems long. And if I have to add an extra spacer, I will. And we'll put that in there. And we'll put our 8mm spacer in there. Oh, I think that's going to work. Just want to get this back one lined up. There we go. Where's my... Just get this started at least. There we go. Okay, we've got the back one started. Okay, there's our 30mm. Our brass spacer. And then our other spacer. Let's get that started a tad. Okay, well, it doesn't look the prettiest, but it'll suffice for now until I could actually probably get a full-size spacer in here. There we go. And that one, there we go. And let's snug this down. Okay, this is going to work. This is actually going to work. And then the back one. Hopefully I don't bottom out in this back screw. I shouldn't. Oh, did I? No, I didn't. Good. That's just the... Good. I didn't bottom out. So there we go. Okay, well, let's see if this is going to work. Let's power her back on. Okay. Let's put her bed on. There's your bed, Barbie. Okay. Where's that little bit of play in the back there? Oh, I see. That screw is loose. Why do I have a loose screw? I have a loose screw. Oh man, let's see. Can I reach that? I'm not a fan of the way that worked back here, but I don't think I can reach that from underneath here. Oh man, I'm not going to get to that. I'll show you what I'm looking at here. Oh yeah, actually you can see it. See that screw right? It's the silver screw right there. See that silver screw right there? In the back of the bed. Hey, Andrew Humphrey. Hey, 3D Experiments. What filament did I use for the parts? Joseph Carver asked. I used Polymaker ASA Pink. Pink Polymaker ASA. And gray for the gray. Now, if you watch when I move the bed, you'll see that screw that I pointed out right there, that silver screw. See, there's a little bit of play in that silver screw. I think that threads into plastic, and I'm not a fan of that. And if I have to, I may have to actually print this part over again. And if that's threading into plastic, and I've tightened that a couple times. So let me grab my Wera. I need a 1.5 millimeter key here. Let's see if I can get in there and tighten that. And if that's screwing into plastic and I can't tighten it, then I'm going to have to print that part over again. So let's see. Let's raise that up a bit more. See if I can get my hand in there. Okay. Oh, turn. That's a little better. And the other side, the other side has fallen out. The other side has fallen out. Oh my goodness. Okay. There is supposed to be one of those in that hole right there. And it's fallen out. Okay, let me go grab ooh. Okay, let me grab a let's see. I need one of those tiny M2. There they are. M2 10 self taps. And we're going to get in there and try and fix that. So it's this little screw here that has fallen out of there. So yeah, that's the way this design self-tappers. I would really like to see threaded inserts in there, but not my design. Oh man, this might be difficult to get in there. I may have to take the bed off to get at this. And if that's the case, what I may end up doing is redesigning, or I don't know what you want to call it, but I wouldn't mind reprinting this piece, making the holes bigger, put some M3 heat insets in there, or even M2s. Oh, shoot, and I just dropped that little screw. Crap. It's a good thing I have a whole bunch of them. Just force heat sets into parts and make them stronger. Yeah, I'd rather reprint it and enlarge the hole proper for the size of the heat set. But I'm not worried. I can still test my nozzle probe with this like this. It's just that I don't want to be printing with wiggle in the bed. So I'll struggle with this just a second more, and then we're gonna see if I can sneak this in the hole without her seeing. There we are. It's in the hole. Now I just got to be able to screw it in. It's just tight for me to get in there. Hang on. Got to move the camera out of the way just a bit. Here, I'll give you guys a view from this side. There we go. Okay. So let's see if I can't get my hand in there. And get this turning. Come on. It's going slowly but surely. I know, don't call you Shirley. There we go. Well, that either fell out or I didn't put it in. Like, I can't see myself missing this part, but you never know. There we go. That totally eliminated any play in the bed. So yeah, I either missed that or it fell out, or I'm going to just swallow my pride and say I missed that, because it went in there nice and snug. So that's what we'll go with, that I missed it for some reason. But now we can see that the bed is no movement at all. Okay. And we are powered on. So now let's try and home this again. Okay, let's go ahead and, oh, come on, I've got to fix that power plug on this thing. There we go. Okay. Let's launch this and let's go ahead and home X, Y, and Z with my finger on the power button, because I don't trust that Z. Here we go. Oh, it worked. It worked. It worked. Hang on, I'll give you another view of that, because that was pretty cool. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and home all again. Here we go. And here we we go to Z. It pushed up on the head a little bit. I could probably test that. I could probably wouldn't hurt to make that a little, or to tweak that a little bit more. It pushed up on the head a little bit. It didn't. Let's just see. I can lower Z now that I've homed it. Let's move Z down. Oh, wrong way. Let's move Z down. Now the bed, no visible marks on the bed at all from doing that. So I think we're okay. I think I can leave it like that. But as I say, in order to tweak that, I'd have to actually pull the cover off, and there's a little screw in there to tweak it. I think I'm going to live with this and try it as it is and see how we do. Here the camera's over there, and I'm over behind this thing going, yeah. So there we go. We have we've successfully homed Barbie. I think I can actually now. I just need to check. Oh, and make sure that the only motor I haven't checked for direction is the extruder motor. I don't have a filament holder on this sucker yet, but what I'll do, let's go ahead and grab some Polylight. I've gone through a ton of this orange. We're doing a Halloween pumpkin theme thing for the kids at even school. And so I've been printing pumpkins galore on the Polymaker Polylight PLA orange. They've been looking good. Actually, the other roll's got a little less on it for me. So I'm going to find out, number one, if I can pull filament through. I'm just going to actually unspool this little last bit, because we can actually do a little start of a test print to see if we're actually able to print before I clean up all the wiring. And I still got a few things to do. I got some fans to put in on the bottom, but I just want to make sure that we can push filament through. Then we'll set up the Z tilt adjust. I almost said quad gantry level, but we're doing a Z tilt adjust. There we go. Let's recycle this guy. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if we were able to push filament through. We'll just kind of take this guy. We can use him for a little testing. Okay. Come on, hang out behind Barbie. There you go. So first thing we'll do is we'll heat up the hot end. Let's get my mug out of there again. There's never a good place to have this overlay thing. There we go. Put you up over there. Okay, no, you're still in the way. Now you're okay. So let's heat up the hot end to 220. And let's just to make sure. We still got to do PID tuning, blah, blah, blah yet. So we'll warm up the bed to 60 as well. Okay, and then we'll see if we can push some filament through. Barbie, you're getting there, Barbie. And we'll go back to, let's go to the overhead. There we go. There's Barbie's hole where we got to put the filament in. I'm so bad. Okay, 150. We will extrude 25 millimeters at 5 millimeters per second. Once we're warm enough, we'll extrude and see if our motor's going the right way. Alive! It is alive, Nick. She homed. We got to do the Z tilted Z tilted just yet, but it's okay. Okay, so we are at 200 degrees. You say I can extrude now. Let's see if the motor's going the right way. It is. We are extruding. Aha! Cool. Let's go ahead. We can be the first. You guys can be the first with me to see Barbie spit out some filament. You ready? We're going to extrude until she's until the orange comes out. Or maybe we're not. Why are you not extruding? What's going on? What did I do? Did I not have you adjusted properly? Shut your mouth. Come on, Barbie. There we go. There we go. There, now you're feeding. No, you're not. Why aren't you feeding? What's stopping you? What is stopping you from feeding? Are you too tight? What is going on in my extruder? Something's jamming in the extruder. Yeah, go figure. I gotta talk nice to her. I know. She's not oozing for me. Let me get myself. It's like there's something stuck in there. It just doesn't want to go through. Let me look down the hole. Don't see anything. This is going nowhere. The extruder motor, it's pulling the right way. It is pulling the right way. It's just, and it is pulling. It's just not, for some reason, going all the way down the throat. But okay, hang on. Let me tension this. It's pulling the right way. You can hear it. Okay, well, because if I retract, here, let me put the overhead on again. If I retract, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's retracting fine. The motor's pulling the right way. And if I retract again, so it's pulling it in. Something's in there. Something is in there blocking the path. I'm pretty sure it's not old filament. So if I open this, I should be able to shove this straight down, straight through. I'm hitting something. Okay, let me try something here. Let me see. Okay, this goes right down to the nozzle. So, boom, boom. So here we go. So we have this little device here. This is actually called a no clogger. This goes in. It's going right down to the nozzle. But the filament, where are we here? Now you're down. That's down as far as that was. Let's just see. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, I don't know what was clogging it. Maybe there was a piece of old filament in there. But here, let's get a view over this way. And you can see her starting to spew orange filament. Look at that. There we go. She's a spewing filament. Did I forget the PTFE, Tor? I wonder if I did, and it was just curving down a little bit from the path, whereas this thing is straight and it just went straight down. I wonder if I forgot the PTFE. Good question, Tor. I'm gonna have to look at that. But we are, because yeah, it's not clogging her. It's not like now she's feeding. Now she's just spitting out filament like there's no tomorrow. So she's doing good, and the bed is warm. Okay, you can stop spitting out filament. I didn't mean to click the mouse button again. I put the tripod down on the mouse button, and she spewed out another 25 mils. Okay, let's cool you off. Actually, let's just cool you down to 120, 150, so we don't get any oozing. Okay, so that's good. I'll have to take that apart after and check for the PTFE. We'll leave the filament in for now because it is in and feeding. All your Z-tilt positions. Oh, good. Thank you. Let me have a look at that. That's the next thing we got to do is Z-tilt so that we can level the bed and then just throw a print at it. Okay, let me go into the configuration. I appreciate that, Thunder Keys. Saves me reinventing the wheel, right? Okay, Z-tilt is going to be down under probe. I think I passed it. Yeah, I passed it. Probe, Z-tilt, here we are. No, where did I find Z-tilt? It was under my Z. I can never find anything. You may still need to futz with the points, peck, poke, but positions are good from the Doom Cube Discord. Okay, cool. I'm lazy. I'm gonna Z probe. Z tilt. What am I doing? Z tilt. Oh, there we are. Okay. Was it not under the probe section, like I said? No, it was under the... Oh, it was under safe Z homing. That's right. Okay, so you said yours are minus 47,515. $61.41. I'm going to try your positions and see what we get. Oops. $15. $61.41. And then you had 167,515. Then your points, 5.5. $61.15. And 115.5. Okay. Whoops. Why did I do that? Didn't want to tab that in. There we go. Okay, we'll try these. Save and restart. Oh, I need another drink. Oh, I ran out of drink. Okay, I'm going to pull over. I'm going to move her kind of like this. I'm going to pull over the other camera here. And we'll stick this other camera on here so you can, let's see, that's camera 2, that's camera 3. Cut that over and do this. Here we go. And I can lower this a little bit. There we go. You can kind of, is that focused? Hey, no, not quite. Hang on. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's home all first. Okay. Oh, I didn't get all the crap off the nozzle. That's okay. Okay, and let's do a Z-tilt adjust. That worked. And that worked. And that timed out. Probe exceeded samples tolerance. Okay, good. We'll do it again. Let's try it again. Yeah, I think I may have to adjust that. You can see the movement on the, it's minimal, but it's moving it. Yeah, we timed out, probe samples exceeded. Tolerance, what's my tolerance? Just gonna try one more here and see. A few hundred probes to break it in, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I keep exceeding samples tolerance. So let's go ahead and let's home that again, just to get it out of the way. Oh, I know, filament. You shouldn't be like that. That's nasty looking, but hey. Yeah, I'm going to definitely adjust that poke probe. Yeah, I'm going to increase the tolerances. I'm also going to grab that piece of filament out of here, because that could affect my probing. What I should do is put a beacon on this thing. I love the beacon probe. Oh, so cool. Anyways, but it's a pretty small printer to have a beacon on it. Okay, let's go ahead and find our samples tolerance. And I'm just going to do a search. Sample. Probe samples 3. I'm going to increase the samples to 10. Samples tolerance retries. Oh no, samples 3 is good. No, what am I doing? Wrong place here. 3 samples is good. Samples tolerance, we're going to do 10 retries. And the tolerance is 0.006. Yeah, we'll see how that does. And I can always change the tolerance a little bit, but that could be, so the tolerance is being that far off. If it's still that far after 10, tolerance at 0.009, okay, I'll try it at 0.009. And if the tolerance are still off after 10 samples, then it's going to be an issue with the probe, and I may have to adjust the sensitivity of the probe. Okay, let's try that and see what happens. It's a V0 turned into a Barbie. Stephen Machado, it's a V0 turned into a Tri-Zero. The Barbie Tri-Zero with the I forget what's the called, with the tall hat. I guess it's called the something box. Somebody out there will know what it's called. I got too much on my mind as it is. So let's go ahead and home it all. So we're going to homer. And then we're going to try the Z-tilt adjust again with the tolerance changes. But yeah, you'll see, watch how much it lifts that. See that? It's not much, but it might be too much. Box 0. Thank you, Joseph. It's called the Box 0. So we built it with we did a Tri-Zero with a Box 0. Basically, and it was a struggle build, but hey, it's working. Z-tilt adjust. Let's see what happens. keeps exceeding tolerance. Yeah. Oh, there it goes. Let's see. Oh, wow. Does it ever exceed tolerance? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Here, I'll show you guys. You can see what it's doing here. Oh, it actually moved on to the third one. Let's let it keep going. It's not in the range, so it adjusted some stuff. So let's see. Keeping in mind the bed was way out of whack to begin with. Yeah, I think I definitely need to, you can see how it's moving the head. I think I definitely need to adjust the sensitivity of that probe. Your nozzle was loose. Okay, yeah. Probe sample exceeds sample's tolerance. So there's definitely something going on. I'm going to home it again. I'll check the nozzle. Let me home it again and lower the Z. And let me have a feel for the nozzle. The nozzle should be tight. I got all my wires here. I've got to do something about wire management, of course, eventually. And filament management. Okay, let me lower the Z here. Okay. Nozzle's only 150. Oh, actually, the nozzle's cooled off. No, the nozzle's very snug. I think we got to go in, and Barbie needs a hairnet. Yeah, exactly. You recall my missing configuration is resolved by include mainsail config and printer config. Oh, did I not include mainsail config? Let me have a look. I think I did, but I could be wrong. Include mainsail config. No, I don't have it in here, do I? Oh, I don't have that. Let me add that in and see. That might be a good point there, Steve. Include mainsail config. We'll just do that up at the top. Is this, do I do that? Is that how I do it? Include. I don't remember the actual. Oh yeah, I think I do include, and then on the next line, mainsail config. Let's see. No. Praising errors. I did it wrong. I knew I did it wrong. I knew it. Or is it just a matter of going like that? Oh, okay. With this and this. And this. Is that right? Yeah, that looks like it might be it. Is that going to get rid of all that crap? It did too. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Cool. Saved me a lot of running around. Okay, so for now, what we got to do is I need to check the sensitivity of this probe. So I think that's going to be the issue. And again, keeping in mind what kind of a probe it is, it's not necessarily here. Why did I do that? I'm going to put this back over here, and we'll use this camera. Pull the hot end apart, and we will upgrade that probe a little bit. So, okay, so let's shut her down. Well, we know we got it working. We got things working. We are just a probe away from printing something. I am going to, just for the sake of cleaning stuff up, I'm going to get rid of this filament for now. I'll pull it out later. Let's just move my slinky. Come on. There we go. We'll just move the slinky over there. And we'll go ahead and we'll just pop this. Oh yeah, you're very blurry. Actually, I got to get the filament out of there. Shoot. I got to unload the filament first. Okay. Okay, we've made some good progress. What are we at? We're at 627. We are close to the Polymaker draw. Very close to the Polymaker draw, guys. I see Jerry switch from the StreamYard giveaway tool to the Wheel of Fortune thing, and I wonder why. I'm wondering if there's a... I don't know why. Figure that out. Okay, I'm just going to remove the filament real quick so that I can pull this apart and pull the hot end out and adjust that. What draw? What draw, Stephen? Every live stream we do a draw and give away a spool of Polymaker filament, because this stream is sponsored. Well, Polymaker is a partner of my channel. You can see they have the Polychroma, the Fibron, the Panchroma, the Fibron, and it's all from, coming up next, it is, and ready and go, Polymaker. Yes, so we're going to give away a spool of Polymaker. Come on, Barbie, fire up. Are you upset that I've turned you off and that your probe is not working properly? She's taking her time. She's making me wait. Did you change IPs on me? Tell me you didn't. I think you did. It's annoying. I can't get the local thing to work. And she keeps changing IP addresses on me. That's okay. We'll work on that. We'll work on you, Barbie. Okay. You know what we'll do? While we're waiting for Barbie to fire up so I can take her hot end apart, let's go ahead and type in the chat hashtag Polymaker and enter to win a spool of Polymaker filament, courtesy of Polymaker and DeWitt 3D Canada. Let's enter the draw. Nice Barbie. Thanks, Collie. So the rules are, if you've won within the last 4 or 5 weeks, we're going to make it 5 weeks. Within the last 5 weeks, you cannot win again. So there's a couple of people eliminated, and they know who they are. And I have my list of winners, prior winners right here. So we will get somebody new winning a roll of filament tonight. Just some housekeeping here. So if you are the winner and your name is drawn, I'm going to be posting an email address for DeWitt3dCanada@gmail.com. You can email me. All I need is your email address, and you're going to need to use your YouTube name when you go to claim your prize. I will go ahead, fill out a form. I will get a code, and I will be sending you that code and a link to the claim form. And you go ahead and fill out that claim form with the code, and boom, Bob's your uncle. And you get some filament from Polymaker. We have 30 people watching and 19 entries. Let's try and get a little bit more. Now, I must talk to Jerry and see why he stopped using this. And I noticed a lot of people don't use this. And I don't know if it's not random enough or what's going on, but he's using the wheel of names again. And I could start using the wheel of names, but I'm more curious to see why people are not using this one. Have you fired up yet, Barbie? Barbie is not yet fired up. Let me see if she has a new IP address. Did you change your IP address to 60? Or are you just not? No, that's the Trident. Where is Barbie? Let me reboot her. She's not cooperating. Well, questionable choices. Oh, I mean, how ironic with your online name and your question. My wife actually likes my Barbie. She wants me to get an actual Barbie to put on the Barbie. So, yeah, but I've been, me and Barbie go back a long way. Okay, we'll give a couple more minutes for the draw. There's 19 entries. There's 28 people watching, which means that 9 people are just lollygagging in the background, which is great. I like to have the people that just tune in, don't necessarily always watch. That's good. It's not a bad deal. 20 now. You're coming. Come on, Kittrell. Come on, come on, come on. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, by the way, because I do not recognize a few of the names, if you're not subscribed, I would appreciate a subscription to my channel. We have a whole schwackload of stuff in behind me. I'm not sure if you can see it on this camera. Whole schwackload of stuff in behind me, which are future projects coming up and future videos, etc. Where's the link? There is no link, Kittrell. You just want to type hashtag Polymaker in chat like everybody else is doing. Hashtag Polymaker. Oh, that's okay, Kittrell. So I like lurkers. Lurkers are great. So here we go. Just type that in chat, what you're seeing on screen. We'll give it a couple more minutes. I want to see if Barbie has rebooted. She was 89. And it looks like she's rebooting. Yay! Okay, Barbie has rebooted. That's good. Because I want to remove her filament. 220 for Barbie. Okay, let's go back to the other screen we were on, which is right here. Okay. Print a shrimp on the Barbie. Why am I not surprised that you came up with that, Andrew? That is funny. That is really funny. And I'm going to see if I can find a model of a shrimp. I don't know if we're going to get to print tonight. We will definitely print next Sunday because we've got to figure out this probe situation. This poke probe theoretically should work. I just don't know how accurate the poke probe is going to work. So you've been in a few streams, need to start saying, hey, Steve. Hello, sir. Steve, we have her working, but we got the Z probe. We got the probe working on the Z. We actually got the sensorless homing all working on her. But the problem we're running into now is when we do the Z tilt adjust, I tried 10 tolerance samples and it's always exceeding its number of tolerance samples. I think the probe needs adjusting a little bit. So we're going to, sensorless setup went well, Steve. Thank you so much. That was great help. It went well. We had to adjust some motor things. And then after the motor things were adjusted, we had to change the sensitivity of the sensorless homing, but it works like a charm. Actually, I'll show you the sensorless homing right here. For those of you that were on here and haven't seen it. Let's just do this. And I'll show you why we're doing what we're doing now. And and we'll do the Polymaker draw in a few minutes here. So hang on one second. Just keep going. Hashtag Polymaker in chat if you want to enter. Okay, we have 23 entries, 31 people watching. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this camera and we're going to go ahead and we'll do the homing. So here we go. Here's the sensorless homing going. Whoops, she's dripping from her nozzle. There's X and Y, and here comes Z. Now you'll see the one reason, watch how far the head moves when the Z probe hits. And I think it's a little too far for my liking. Here we go. Okay, not much, but I think that's a little bit too far for my liking. So let me move Z down now. Oh, Barbie's drooling. I'm trying to get her filament out of her now. So let me go ahead and retract the filament. We just had to test and make sure, but I think, hey, it's Tor told me, I think they're just not settling to within tolerance. They're all over the place. Okay, so we have the filament out. I think I might have forgot the PTFE tube in here too. So that's how far all your CNC taps move. Okay. Well, it might be like there is some adjustment room in there, but the tolerances were way out of whack for the most part. They would just be all over the map. Probe accuracy results. Well, let's do it. I'll show you that. We have a hot nozzle. Let's do it with a warmed up nozzle too. Let's keep the nozzle warm. Let's warm the bed up a little more. Let's try the Z-tilt adjust with a warm bed and warm nozzle. Not that that'll make much of a difference, but we'll see. But I'll show you the numbers, and we'll do a Z-tilt adjust here and show you the numbers. Actually, let's do a draw for Polymaker first. So let's go back to this screen. We're going to do a draw. This screen. Let's do a draw. We have 26 entries. We'll do the draw for the filament. Then we'll go and have a look at the tolerance numbers on the Z-tilt adjust. Okay, so for a roll of Polymaker filament, good luck to everybody in 3, 2, 1, and we're going to make the draw. Oops, I clicked the wrong button. There we go. Good luck, y'all. And tonight's winner is 3D Experiments. Yes, 3D Experiments. Congratulations. Congratulations, 3D Experiments, on winning a roll of Polymaker filament. So you know the the drill here. Here's my email address. 3dcanada@gmail.com. Real easy to remember. Pop me an email, 3D, and I will get back to you tonight or tomorrow morning with the link and your code number. So congratulations again. Awesome, awesome. Polymaker. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Okay, folks, now I'm going to do a Z-tilt adjust, and we'll see what the numbers are. And what I'll do is I'll put this on the screen. Let me move my mug out of the way so we can actually see the numbers. Let's move me over here. Okay, there we go. And then let's do a Z-tilt adjust and see what we get. Okay. Yeah, 131, 103, 111, 91, 1000, 925, 918, 912, 875, 875, 87. Oh, it actually got 3 right in a row. 36, 37, 33, 36, 36, 3. Oh, it got another 3 in a row. 32, 17, 18, 13, 13, 18, 25, 23, 23, 17, 16, 16. Whoa. Okay, well, we're going around a second time. It did some adjustments. Samples equals 100. Really? Okay, well, we'll try that. Oh, that one it actually did. So it actually might be getting better. Samples equals 100 to break in the probe accuracy. Okay, I never would have thought of that. But actually, we're going around now, and it seems to be doing something. I've got it 10 samples right now. But I guess it makes sense that you got to break in a probe, especially this kind of a probe, the way it's got that printed piece. Oh, that one, first time. So you're telling me I need to probe Barbie 100 times? Okay, well, we'll try that. Let's see if we get any results here first. But the difference, they're way off. Yeah, there we go. We exceeded samples. Okay, let's go into machine. Okay, let's go to probe. Let's get down to the probe and let's increase that. We'll take your advice and try 100, and we'll let her roll. Where's my probe? I keep passing my probe. There's my probe. Now, you're saying samples 100? No, accuracy, probe accuracy samples. Oh no, probe tolerance retries. Samples 3. You're saying probe accuracy samples. I don't have probe accuracy samples set. Is that a line I need to add in there, Stephen? Is that you're saying to add that line in? We can go 10 there. Oh, you want me to type that line in? Okay, I can do that. Let's put that in right here. Probe accuracy samples equals 100. Is that kind of, so a line like that is what you're saying to put in? No. Okay. What are we saying? Oh, not in the config. Oh. Okay. Leave this alone. Yeah, I can hear you yelling at the other end. I can hear you yelling at the other end. Probe accuracy samples equals 100. Okay. Must home before probe. Oh, fine, of course. Let's home it. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay. Now we run that code. Okay. Okay. You don't yell at the screen? Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, I guess if I put 100 where I was going to put it, we'd be here all night. So basically what it's going to do here is probe 100 times, basically to break the probe in. And it's not moving it too much. I'm sure you can see. It's hard to see from, let me go a different angle here. See if you can see the movement on that head. There you go. There, you can kind of see the movement on the head now. Not moving too much, but, you know, a little bit. I don't know if it should be moving that much, though, because, based on the kind of probe it is. It's almost like it's twisting the head. Oh, don't touch it. Okay. Ay, ay, ay. How does my results window look? Oh, okay, let's have a look at that. We're ranging from 0.1 to 0.112, 0.15, 0.118. Oh, now it's staying at point. Well, there we go. Probe accuracy results, minimum maximum 1.1, minimum 0.175, median 0.05, standard deviation is 0.07. So that's a good thing then if I'm getting a 0.05 median with a standard deviation of 0.07. Okay. So after doing that, do I do it one more time to break it in? Because I touched it. Or shall I try the Z-tilt again and see what we get? Let's try the Z-tilt. Okay, well that didn't take as long. Okay. Okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not the most accurate probe out there. I still think that it's moving. I still think it's moving the head a bit too much. See, to me, that's a lot of movement, considering it's not. Yeah. See, this one's going to time out. Yeah, that exceeded sample tolerance. Hey, Betty Boop. Betty Boop, 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 boop. Looks like it's rotating a bit. Is that mounted well? It is. Yeah, the head is mounted well. It's see, you guys know what the poke probe is, right? So I have a feeling that if I can reduce the sensitivity of that poke probe by adjusting those screws so that it doesn't have to hit as hard, I suspect that may be. Yeah, you see how much that moved there? So if I move that back up to 25, this is how far it's moving it. See? Now if I drop it, just watch how far that drops. See, to me, that's a fair amount. So I think I almost want to take that off and readjust the sensitivity of that poke probe. Exactly, Brent. Rotating much more than moving up and down. Exactly, because I think it's pushing a little too hard in order. But your probe points that you gave me, it is hitting the bed each time. So it's hitting in a nice solid part of the bed each time. So that shouldn't. I can't see that being a big effect on it. I think what I need to do, because the poke probe is basically just it's a 3D printed piece out of ASA, and it's got a bunch of little fins inside it, basically, right? And for those that don't know what the poke probe is, and then how do I explain it? You have a screw that goes in the top and a screw that goes in the bottom, and then you have two set screws, or grub screws in the top, a grub screw in the bottom, and then you have two set screws that go in to hold the wires. Okay, and basically you can adjust those grub screw distance. You want them just touching, so that they're in the open position when they're just touching, and then when you push it, you're actually closing. You know what I mean, right? And so you're basically dependent on the flexing of that plastic is what's happening, right? So it's really touchy deflecting of the plastic, and just by adjusting those screws open or closed, is whether or not you're making connection now. And that was adjusted off of the hot end by using a multimeter and checking for the signal in a multimeter to see whether they were closed or not. So there is a fine adjustment. The downside of it is, in order to do that fine adjustment, I have to take the hot end off, take the hot end out, and do that fine adjustment, put the hot end in, and it's going to be a hit and miss type thing. Versus if I were to throw a beacon probe on this thing, boom, you get a beacon probe, you're laughing, it's all done. But I just don't think, number one, I don't have anywhere right now to mount a beacon probe, and a beacon probe may be a little overkill for something like this if I can get this little probe working. So it was basically more so, somebody suggested the poke probe. I happen to have a Dragon hot end, which is the only hot end it supports at the moment. And I thought, yeah, why not? Let's do it. Let's give Barbie a poke probe. Can you put a link in chat to the probe project? Yes. You're creating a physical end stop using grub screws printed parts. The hot end is mounted to a floating printed part. Pretty much, in a way. You wish Beacon would fit in a 120T0. Yeah, I know. Wouldn't that be nice? Beacon would be overkill. Of course it would be. I have a beacon on my Trident. I have a beacon on my 2.4. I had a beacon in my rat rig, which I no longer have, but I love those probes. They're fast. Let me grab a quick link to show you the probe we are using. And let me put a link in here. It's called the dollar hot end probe. So here's a link to the GitHub. Copy, and we'll paste this in for anybody interested in looking and see what this is. And again, it might just be that it's not the best type of probe, but I thought it might work for this based on how it's going to work. And if you look at there's a little video graphic of it right here that they're showing, and the head is not moving at all. You don't see any of the movement. But I agree with whoever said that. I think it was Stephen or somebody that said it, that it seems to be twisting more than pushing up and down in the nozzle, because I think it's hitting it too hard. I think it's hitting it a little too hard. But yeah, this is the poke probe right here. So this is the 3D print, the piece you 3D print. You put a grub screw in the bottom, another one in the top, and these two grub screws here hold the wires to the probe. Okay. And then basically the probe goes on top of the hot end, and again, when you push it, it actually connects disconnects the two. It breaks the connection between the grub screws. Is basically all it does. Let me see. Yeah. So it's pretty hard to see some of these images, but there we go. So there's the probe right there. There's the wires coming out of the probe, and to adjust it, you have to take these screws out of the hot end. And you have to pull that out, and then you have to adjust the screw that's on top of here to make it more or less sensitive to the touch. And there's another view of it here. Okay, there it is right there. Okay, and that's all there is to it. Reduce the Z travel speed. True. Bruno Silva used the poke on his Dorian Velta, and it was very accurate, but he did have to adjust it to make it more sensitive. Exactly. And I think, and we're speaking a 32nd of a turn or less, a 64th of a turn of accuracy to get those things adjusted. So, yeah. And then here's another image of it. There we go. So on top where his finger is, there's one screw, which is the adjustment screw, which is the one you adjust for accuracy. These two screws here are what basically connect the wire to the grub screws that are coming in the top and the bottom. And as you can see, the way whoever designed this, the way they've designed the fins and everything in here is so that when the pressure goes on there, it breaks the connection between our two grub screws that are in there. So, and the nice thing about it is if I figure it's faulty, I could print another one. It's very easy to replace. So it's clever, but way too fiddly. Yeah, it can be fiddly. And obviously it is going to be fiddly because, it's working good for homing, but as far as for leveling the bed and doing a Z tilt adjust, it obviously needs to be adjusted a little bit more. So yeah. Okay, guys. Well, we are at our quitting point. Let me go ahead. Let me shut Barbie down because I am going to take her hot end apart, and I'll do that this week. I want to be printing next week now that we have everything basically working the way it should. Thank you all for being on here, and huge thanks to everybody that's on the stream tonight. Thunder Keys, thank you so much for being on here and helping me and sharing your configs. I much appreciate that. It saves me a lot of time and a lot of looking around and hunting, and that's what my channel is all about. Is I'm learning as you guys watch, and the more I do, the more I learn. But thank you very much, and I appreciate everybody's help. Congratulations to 3D Experiments for winning the spool of Polymaker filament. I will be in touch with you when you email me, and next week we're going to be back and hopefully printing. I'm going to work on her during the week. get the probe going. I've got to throw a couple fans in the bottom yet. We have these accent parts for the fans that are going in on each side of Barbie's bottom. And then I'm going to try and figure out, clean up her wire. I may just hang something here to hang her wire down here. I'm not going to get too fussy with it, so Barbie has a messy backside, no big deal. It's the front of her that needs to look pretty and it's the front of her that needs to be functional. So let's see what we got going on here. And then we'll say, oh, come on, phone. We'll say our goodbyes. Okay, folks, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it. And we'll see you guys all next Sunday. Subscribe to me, please. We're going to be doing some more fun stuff. We got a lot of stuff on the shelf behind me I got to go through over the next little while. We're going to be talking about some of the practical printing I've been doing lately. So yeah, everybody have a wonderful week. Tomorrow's a holiday for everybody. Happy Labor Day. Enjoy your day off tomorrow, those of you that do have the day off. And we'll catch you guys next week. Thank you very much. And again, thank you for Polymaker for being a partner of the channel and allowing me to give you guys filaments. So thanks, guys. We'll talk to you next week. Bye for now.